Greetings from the veteran. Welcome back to Operation Independence. This is commenting on the end of the game. I have conceded after 15 rounds, and the Allies have a clear lead with 10 points. And we were down to 3, and the Comintern with 2. That is all correct. It may or may not be. Japan was holding its own, doing quite well for itself still, having a large navy and decent income. But we were struggling to hold Burma and score the Asia for Asians point, especially with basically the entire FEC army coming for us, and as well hold ground against KMT and threaten to retake or capture Nanking was something we really needed to do. Also while fighting the Americans who were in position at Hawaii. We had ports. There we had some ships in port. Tokyo, I think they were protecting against the Americans while they were in Midway. No, they were not in Midway, but they were at the Marshall Islands. Threatening a landing on Tokyo. But as you can see, Japan, so KMT went major this game. Japan. So I want to start beginning of the game. I knew that I wanted to, in this game, focus on the Soviet Union early. And doing that, I wanted to have Japan skip China, and hopefully the Chinese factions would fight each other or stare at each other down and not do anything. But I went for the Netherlands, East Indies, barely, I think, turned 4, and that went well, but CCP got Shanghai early, and then, but they turned Suyon KMT, I want to say, and KMT was able to push them back to Suyon and then to Xinjiang, where they stood the rest of the game, and they kind of stayed out of KMT's way, and then KMT sent their whole army north to focus us down, and then we never wanted to declare war on the Chinese because as soon as we attacked the coast or anywhere, all of the warlords would have aligned to KMT basically, and they would have went major right away because we were having forces dedicated to building up units in Siam for the eventual fight with the FEC, and then we were also sending units to fight the Soviets. So we were kind of spread out and trying to keep the KMT from becoming major by defending Rihe and Manchuria, but we, in the end, were not able to prevent KMT from going major, and we had to go into China. But it was a tough fight. But as you can see, we were able to hold capture and hold Novosibirsk through the end of the game, which was good for us. It's not that often that you see Japan making it all the way to capture the city. Although the Soviets were closing in fast and hard, and we were not going to really have anything to do about it. We actually kept a couple fighters over there for quite a few rounds to try to hold it. Germany got so far that I was looking at holding Lebensraum, and I was doing well with the Germans in the Soviet Union. I had actually captured Transcaucasia at a point, aligned Turkey, and then aligned Iraq. The Allies have Iraq now, though, and we actually still held Turkey. The Soviets finally retook Transcaucasia, though, and are going to hold that for the rest of the game. And what happened was during the fighting in the Soviet Union, the British were just super strong this game, and they landed in France and actually liberated Paris. And I drew all my units back to my home country and back to fighting the Allies in France. And we were just losing hardcore to them. Another goal of this game was to keep the American income low. And part of that was Japan only declaring war on the Dutch and then only declaring war on Japan, not declaring war on KMT or the British before America was close to or at full income. And then Italy attacked Yugoslavia early in the hopes that they could join the war, that the British would declare war on them, and we didn't want to give the 5 IPP to the United States. But we did want to start collecting more IPP for ourselves. We actually still held Yugo the whole game. And then we wanted to raid the British and do things in Africa, but we split our forces between Tobruk and Cyrenaica, and that was a big mistake in the earlier mid-game. And what the British did this game was play it slow and play a really good game. Germany obviously didn't have a lot against them, as we were focusing first on France and then the Soviets. So they took their time. They took a couple turns, prepared, and then took out Vichy with really no issues. And then, like I said, Italy messed up and tried to defend Tobruk and Cyrenaica while the British were able to declare war on us. And we ended up putting all of our subs in port and our sub base in Tobruk that we built. I think that's a good play to do the sub base in Tobruk, but the issue was I split my forces. And so what happened was I had bunch of subs in the import in the sub base, and the British just declared war on Italy, who was actually also at war with the Soviets. So there were German subs in Tobruk as well. And so the British just captured Tobruk and sank all those subs in one round of combat or one battle without having to map them or anything, and that just shut down a lot of raiding and a lot of flexibility for Italy for the rest of the game. Had I defended Tobruk better by not splitting my forces, I probably could have held the sub base and not lost all my subs in one go. And this would have been kind of maybe a much different game. But with the loss of all those subs, it thwarted anything really Italy could do, especially with Britain collecting a lot of money in the game and having taken out Vichy, getting extra money from holding territories in France until Paris was liberated. Is there anything else? Italy also holding their ground still through the end game with the majorly damaged factory. And Germany was interesting. We built the battleship on our build queue. And then we got one of the French battleships. I want to say one of the French battleships went German, and then one of the French battleships on the production chart went German. So we were able to get 3 battleships in this game, and we were using them to attack the Soviets, which went well for a while, but we were studying this in send our Navy more against the Allies, but it was too little too late, as we lost all the territory and money in our units fighting the Soviets. All we have left is militia over here, and we had a damaged factory in Western Germany and very few ground units and little income without holding France and without holding more territory in the Soviet Union. Yeah, it's an interesting game indeed. Definitely my props go to Madman Dan with the Commonwealth. I think they were played by far the best nation in this game. Did really well. And then America just gets to come in and say, hello Commonwealth, I'm going to support you here. And also KMT kicking my butt. And always hurts when Japan's getting raided as well. But yeah, that's how things go, and that's how this game went. So yeah, it's over now. XSF conceded, Comintern as well, and the Allies have a solid victory. Again, with the liberation of France is a really big one. And also the Comintern won in Spain. We lost there. But that's my comments for the game. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Goodbye.